Okay, in today's video about Telcoin, I want to check out this part of the price action and talk to you about a bullish pattern that suggests soon we're going to get a move on the upside. And I am also going to tell you what are my problems with it. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about TL, we were somewhere around, I believe, these areas. And I was saying, this whole move to me seems to be a corrective movement, and after it's over, we are going to have some more big moves on the upside, and I still absolutely believe that, and there is nothing to be worried about in TEL because in the mid to long term, the structures are screaming bullish. You see, in the long term, these lines are in terms of valued waves, and if you are a new viewer, I should tell you, if you want to argue, for example, we're going to have maybe our final bottom around here. Let's say this is like a very important support. Then, okay, we need to be able to find off of the lowest low in this region, a 5 wave on the upside. This specific case is a normal one. The rules for it are we shouldn't have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of impulsive structure, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And for sub waves, we must have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. There we go. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different scenarios. Let's say maybe a triangle into wave 4 and a WXY structure into wave 2 in here. Okay, now let's go on the live chart and count some waves and see why we are in the long term absolutely bullish. So here's the situation. This point about, let's say, 0.00089 is the lowest low. And what do we have off of it? Well, we can have different possibilities. If you want to stay on this chart, you can say, well, okay, this is a 5 wave up into wave 1, this is wave 2, huge move up into wave 3, correction for 4. At the moment, we are on our way to complete the subwaves for a great wave 5. And because in here we are having overlapping of the waves between our supposedly wave 4 and 2, then okay, this can be maybe an expanding leading diagonal and not a normal 5 wave. Can we have another scenario? Yes, but in order to check that possibility out, you need to go on actually another chart. I think it was Bybits. There we go. You see, in this chart, we actually do not have the shadow in here that we had in KuCoin's chart. And this now looks like a series of 1-2s, meaning this is 1 and 2, and at the moment we are on our way to complete a wave 3 and 4 and 5. And then at that point, this red 5 wave up is going to be on a higher degree into this larger degree wave 3, and then we're going to have correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. And now I'm leaning towards this scenario in TL just more and more. And if something like this is going to be in play, well, basically our bull run in Telcoin is just far from over. So this is basically why I am so optimistic in the mid to long term, but in the short term, we can have different possibilities. Now, I don't really like Twitter, and I have been very vocal about this. I don't really believe that is better than YouTube. That's why I don't really hang out on it that much. But recently, I saw a post from an analyst that said, maybe this is going to be a classic bullish pattern called a triangle structure. Now, personally, for me, I don't really like classic patterns, but if you do, basically a triangle looks like this. And let's just draw the lines for it. There we go. In a triangle, we must have at least 2 hits with each line in order to be considered as a valid pattern. And if the move before the triangle was actually on the upside, then you can say, well, okay, this is a bullish pattern that suggests after our pattern is over, we're going to get a continuation of the move up. And in terms of the targets, you need to measure the height of your triangle from here, let's say, to about this point, and put this thing at your breaking point. And that is how you measure the targets. Okay, let's go now on the live chart and see what is happening. So the idea in Telcoin is that maybe starting from this high, we are having a bullish triangle, something like this, and this is going to be the lower line for it. Maybe there we go. Now here's the situation. I can tell you maybe this is going to be the first and second hit. However, in this lower line, maybe this is going to be the second head and this is our first head, but we do not actually have this shadow on other charts. So I do want to be a bit careful about calling this pattern a triangle structure, but let's say, okay, this is actually a valid triangle. Now, if something like this is going to be in play, then I want to see a couple more days of consolidation pattern in TL, and then after it, a move on the upside. And in terms of the targets, let's just first put the chart on the regular scale and measure the height of our pattern from here to about this high and put it at our breaking point. Let's say we're going to break it in here. That will give you about, let's say, a 1 cent target. So technically, if you are willing to be a bit flexible with the rules, this can be a triangle, fair enough. However, I'm having some problems with it. You see, why should we say this is a triangle? If you want to say that this is actually a consolidation pattern, then okay, I think we may have a much more bullish of a pattern called a bull flag. And basically in a bull flag, you are having a triangle like this, but you should also involve the move up before it in order to be a bull flag. And this is basically our pull. This is our flag. And the difference between this pattern and the previous one is that the target is actually the pull of the flag from here to about this point. And if I just put this thing at our breaking point, that will give us, let's say, about a 2 to 2.5 cents Telcoin in the next couple of weeks. I think this can be a much better pattern. Again, if you are interested in classic patterns, and I'm going to tell you why I think this is a better scenario. Let's go back on our original chart from KuCoin. There we go. So here's the situation. In terms of classic TA, meaning support and resistances, we are having in here an extremely important, let's say supposedly broken resistance area. And this, I believe, is the most important region in Telcoin's price chart. And if you want to say this is broken, you need to go on weekly chart, because this is from weekly and daily time frame at the same time, and see an initial move above the region, followed by that a pullback, and then a continuation of the move up in order to take this high. Now let's go on weekly time frame, zoom in more and see, do we have something like that or not? Let's zoom in, excuse me. There we go. So we can definitely say this is our initial break, followed by that the current consolidation pattern can be interpreted as a pullback, and what's gonna happen next? Probably a continuation of the move up. And here is a very important point, and I need you to pay full attention to what I'm about to say. You see above here, I just do not believe that we are having a whole lot of strong resistances until where? Until around this area between 1.8 to about, let's say, 2 cents. In other words, if we confirm that this resistance is broken, I'm expecting at that point about a 200% move on the upside, and a triangle target cannot justify that move. However, a bull flag target definitely can. And in terms of Elliott waves, I promise you, we are absolutely having the right structures for it, because in the midterm, I'm expecting Telcoin not only to get a break of this resistance, but also set an all-time high and take the highest high all the way up here around 6 cents. So you see, we can have a bullish pattern, maybe a triangle, but I think we can do better. And maybe in TL, we are on our way to have a bull flag, which is a much more bullish of a pattern, suggesting that the next phase of the bull run in TL might be another 2 to even 300% move. I think that is definitely possible. And for now in here, I want to see some more consolidation, and then after it, a huge move on the upside. So you see, overall, in my opinion, we are looking great in TL, and there is just nothing to be worried about. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Telcoin's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.